There is no doubt that moving images have come to occupy a preeminent position today. Whether these are received through the medium of cinema, television, or through the internet or computer screens or mobile phones, moving images have become the dominant form of mass media. How did this happen? The desire, concept, and method of putting a number of images together to create the illusion of movement are not new. The Romans knew the phenomenon of persistence of vision more than 2000 years ago. Aristotle demonstrated the pinhole camera called the camera obscura, and the magic lantern by which images could be seen to move has been invented, according to some historians, in the 1650s by a Dutch scientist. In the 19th century, after the invention of photographs, Edward Muybridge took multiple still cameras and placed them in a row to photograph a horse in motion. He then mounted them on a version of the magic lantern and projected them on a wall. He called this invention the zoopraxiscope. Although Edison is often credited with the development of early motion picture cameras and projectors, it was Dickson, who was working for him, who devised a crude motor-powered camera that could photograph motion pictures called a kinetograph in November of 1890. This was one of the major reasons for the emergence of motion pictures. The innovative Lumiere brothers in France, Louis and Auguste, often called the founding fathers of modern film, who worked in a Lyons factory that manufactured photographic equipment and supplies, were inspired by Edison's work. They created their own combo movie camera and projector, a more portable, handheld and lightweight device than Edison's that could be cranked by hand and could project movie images to several spectators. It was dubbed the cinematographe and patented in February of 1895. The multi-purpose device, combining printer, camera and projecting capabilities in the same housing, was more profitable because more than a single spectator could watch the film on a large screen. The first public test and demonstration of the Lumiere's camera projector system was made on March 22, 1895 in their basement. During the private screening to a scientific conference, a trial run for their public screening later at the end of the year, they caused a sensation with their first film, Workers Leaving the Lumiere Factory. Initially, these films, called Actuality Films or Actualités, were a novelty, a technological marvel, and were screened in Nickelodeons, peep show parlors where machines played short film loops, or films on flip cards called mutoscopes for individual viewers on demand. The popularity of the Actuality film became much less due to the growing popularity of the narrative fiction film around 1906. They used a film width of 35 mm and a speed of 16 frames per second, an industry norm until the talkies. After the advent of sound in the late 1920s, 24 frames per second became the standard. Although Actuality films may have disappeared from movie theaters, Actuality films or video has made something of a comeback in the digital era. The advent of YouTube has led to some resurgence of interest in Actuality-style film and video apart from home movies, clips made by home-based webcams pointed out of the window. One late 20th century Actuality video seen thousands of times on television in the months leading up to the LA consumer riots of 1993 was the police beating of Rodney King, filmed by an amateur through the front window of their residence. Similar film or video clips find their way onto the internet or television news channels all over the world. These have played a major role in political protests and dissent. So we see that Actuality films do still continue to exist, even though in a different avatar and a different purpose than the original one of people like the Lumiere brothers.
you.